What's going on, people? It's your man, the White Bee. Once again, big shout out to my dog, Clay's Boxing, for coming through and boosting up the coins. So, we got some unfortunate news for the great unwashed masses right now regarding Chris EUBANK Jr. and Conor Henn's undercard. You know, I don't know, I can't think of the last card. I'm not hating here, but it's been a minute since I've looked at his TURKI card and thought, you know how it came up originally? It came up like bosh banger, bosh banger, bosh banger, bosh banger. And it was like, whoa. And this is turning into more slop. Yeah? Trad slop is what I'll call it. What is trad slop? Trad slop is you get one good fight and the rest. Listen, I'll tell you right now for free. You can you're not a hardcore. Listen, man, I'm gonna call a spade right now. That's what I'm fixing to do. Okay, I'm not hardcore. I'm not semi-core. I'm not madcore. I'm not whatever you want. I'm telling you, just calling a spade here. I'm not watching none of these other fights. I'll tune in at 9:30 for EUBANK Jr. and Henn rematch, and that's all I'm doing. End of the day. No, it has to be said just quickly. I'm going to do a Patreon video because whilst I'm critical of this card, sometimes, one in a million I'd say, there was a wicked fight. In scarily enough, it was actually on the prelims. Yeah? Sergey Bochuk versus Brandon Adams 2. It was the best fight I've seen in probably 15 years. Yeah? And it hasn't, obviously, it was on the prelims. It wasn't even on the main card. It wasn't even, literally. It's free on YouTube to watch. If you find the prelims on YouTube, type in Canelo Crawford prelims and then go to the last half an hour of that video. It's about a 3.5 hour video. It's banging, honestly. Finger licking old school. Bottom line, the best I've seen in 15, 20, 30 years. No doubt. And if you've seen a fight better, let me know. Banging. 10 out of 10. Old school. Adams in there. Like this. Listen. Yeah, never mind Semalong. I was rock hard. I felt like Anthony Joshua in terms of hardness. Yeah. As a poorly endowed light-skinned Donny, yeah? As a poorly endowed light-skinned Donny, I can only imagine what it would be like to be as engorged as Anthony Johnston, right? Yeah, a proper twang, a weapon they call it, I believe, right? And that's what I was like. I grew about 3 inches watching Bochuk and Adams. I can't even, like, it was... You had the Moody in there. Adams giving it the Moody. Giving it the Moody shoulder roll in there. He's standing in, honestly, banging fight. Bochuk got beat at his own game. Bochuk weighed in Ismail Davis. Not that you'd necessarily know him. He's kind of like a UK British level fighter. But on 3 days notice or a week's notice, he give Josh Kelly all he could handle. He gets in there with Bochuk and Bochuk just blew his back out. And more or less, not as aggressive, but Bochuk was half in the fight. But the thing I've never seen, Bochuk punched at Ortiz. He put him down twice. Virgil Ortiz, the big puncher. Bochuk won that fight. He popped his cherry twice for him. Yeah. So Bochuk, who weighed in Ortiz, weighed in Ismail Davis, gets honestly all on the inside. No faffing around. This wasn't a sting. This wasn't no kind of Erislandy Lara. Oh, you've been able to outbox the pressure fighter. Brandon Adams put belt to ass. Anyway. I've gone a long way explaining, or a long way around the house is explaining that. So it's not necessarily you can't get a good fight, but most of these men ain't turning up to fight anyway. Like I said, that was 1 in a million. I can't remember the last undercard fight that was worth watching. Not that I've watched them, so maybe I've missed them, but come on. There's no critical acclaim. Anyway, here's the breakdown. Adam Azim versus Zaur Abdulalev. Never heard of him. Yeah, listen. What weight division is he in? I think he's 140, Adam Azim. When's the Dalton Smith fight happening? I know Dalton Smith's fighting... What's his name? What's that cat? Subriel Matias. Right? Come on. Who's this cat? What? Zapruder Abdulayev. He sounds hard, to be fair. He sounds like he might be quite hard. So it could be one of them. It could be like... This cat here. Zapruder Abdulayev. He sounds a bit like... Mutazaliev, yeah, and ask Tim Zoo. He found out what Mutazaliev was about. The minute you start hearing Z's and V's in the name, you know they're pretty hard. Yeah. So I don't know, but listen, I'll check the odds. Maybe I should do that now, actually. But these fights, I don't know. Jack Casserole versus Ekau Esserman. Esserman beat a washed-up Josh Taylor. Okay. But Jack Casserole's into stinkers. Now, Casserole has left his training team. He's training now with Jaron Ennis' trainer. So hopefully they can change that style up. But based on history, Esserman's going to come forward. So it might be good. It's not got the name. I don't know. Maybe I'm a Mandingoite. Right, I like seeing a Mandingo or two in there. And naming that, we've got Richard Riakporhe in there, but who's he fighting? Tommy Welsh. Never heard of him. He might be good though. Just because a casual hasn't heard of him, don't mean he ain't good, but I never heard of him. The whole point of Turkey cards it was like, you've heard of everyone on there. Particularly for this kind of UK derby type shtick. You could have got some, just think about the 5v5 for example. That was classic. The Peterbia versus Bivol card. Was that on the 5v5? I forget all the cards, but there was a point here where it was like, ooh, shh. There was at least 2 good ones on here. There's none on here. There's none on here that worth looking into again. Now, I'll let Turkey off as such, because we can't have it both ways. My thoughts are they should probably do Riyadh season 3 times a year, and that ensures you have a stock of fighters. But because they're coming in once a month, inevitably, especially with these new age men who don't want to fight, and or they're faffing around in Benidorm or Shagaluf or Malia, you know one's there. Yeah, these new age fighters, never mind get a win, they lose. Look at Edgar Berlanga. He in Puerto Rico having a coming home parade for doing nothing with Carrot Top for 12 rounds, just to survive, a survival parade. That's what they was doing in Puerto Rico for dude, right? They got no shame. Now, I'd like to have seen, listen, Hamza fought him when? When did Hamza fight? August? Argos? Was it Argos or July? Whenever Hamza fought, man, he needed to be out again. He didn't take a punch. And I get it. They say, oh, listen, I'm not in Hamza's head. Maybe he's resting up. Maybe he's hurt his hand. It could be that, right? How was the old, I don't care what no one said here. The old school man gloves, they was tiny. Seriously. These new gloves are like Powerpuff gloves. End of the day, them old school gloves was different. They look like slightly bigger than UFC gloves, the old school gloves did. So how were them, man, fighting 3-4 times a year? How was they doing it? Now, no one's saying that these cats need to be pushed on if they're having life and deaths, but Hamza, he should be out again on this card to build his profile. Who would he fight? Get some plumber in there. What plumbers are there? Let's think. I don't know, not necessarily a plumber, but what's the Carrot Top went life and death with? Munguia, for example. Has he popped, though? He popped, didn't he? He popped. So he might be down bad. But you get the point. Get Hamza out, man. Get out. Is he hanging around now for the Carrot Top fight? It's possible. I don't think Carrot Top's going to fight Hamza. And if he does, I got Hamza. Honestly, listen. If Hamza don't get caught on the end of his 100%, yeah, the flaky one, the Amir Khan one. If Hamza don't get caught on the end of his Amir Khan, he does Carrot Top proper arm. And I'm not sure Carrot Top can even reach up there, to tell the truth. I'm not sure he can reach up there. The rain, people. Yeah? Carrot Top couldn't work out Crawford, who's 4 foot tall, relatively speaking. How's he going to get... Listen. Carrot Top could not put pressure, effective pressure, on a dude who was more or less smaller than him. Yeah? Hamza will do Carrot Top proper... Look at the Kovalev fight, right? Carrot Top, did he win some rounds? He did, but that was a washed up. People, if you could appreciate how much moody Russian hooch Kovalev was consuming, you'd understand the relativeness of the performance. Yeah, he's old. Andre Ward took his liver and kidney out, right? Kovalev was in the fight there, old washed up Kovalev. And he's nowhere near as tall as Hamza. Hamza does Carrot Top harm. Anyway, the point is, let's get some names on here. It's done now, okay? We get that. It's done now. And we have to some extent, be thankful that we're getting cards consistently. It's more or less once a month, right? What was September's one? Oh, yeah, Canelo Crawford. So I think, listen, we could be complaining, oh, why don't Turkey do more? Why don't he do more? This looks like probably he's running out of Think about it. If you've got a 6 month, if fighters these days have a 6 month schedule, and you've got 8 to 12 cards a year, inevitably, yeah, all of your best fighters are going to be done in the first 6 months. Does that make sense? If you think of all the top fighters that you want to watch, if you had 6 cards or even 4 cards, you could get them all on in the first 6 months, and that means it's more or less a 1 year turnaround, and hence you're going to end up with more of this top fight, and then the rest of, well, they might be good fights, but you're not. Listen, I know when I'm hard, okay? And I'm hard at the end of the day. Is that wrong of me? Should I be hard for people I've never heard of? And I guess the argument is, how else do you build names? But they can't do it somewhere else, right? Where's Caballero at? Yeah, what's he doing? Where's Caballero hanging out? He ain't fought since February. What's he doing? Hanging around for what? Again, I'd argue, listen, was it an easy fight? I don't think he had any problems with Zhang. Zhang hit him, put him down once, undoubtedly. What are you waiting for, man? Caballero could have been out in June, for example. What are you doing? Yeah? But anyway, there's 2 more fights on this card. You've got Sam Gilly versus Ishmael Davis. Again, never heard of him. And you've got Mikey Talion versus Fenzan Shahid. So, what can I say, folks? It's all been said already, right? And there's nothing to be said here. Yeah, I'm just going to have a quick look here. The thing is, we've got other cards, right? Like Dave Allen's got a card, Wardley, Fabio Argus, Wardley and Parker have got a card. And I look through the rankings, and to be fair, it's a bit of a drought, isn't it? What's Nick Ball doing? He just fought, didn't he, to be fair? So yeah, it's one of them. But it's almost a bit oversaturated, to be honest. If I was managing Riyadh season, and I'm trying to really draw attention to Riyadh season, but I guess you've done that with the headline, right? That is what ultimately people are going to tune in for. But imagine 4 unforgettable nights per year, right? And let Eggy Hearn do the rest of these ones at the York Hall somewhere, right? Let Eggy do them at some snooker hall somewhere, darts hall. Tell Eggy, listen, Eggy, man, we'll take all the good fights, and you can do the rest at the snooker halls. With the piss heads. No, that's the darts heads, man. You can take all that to the darts heads, man. Give this, because listen, the dart heads, they'd watch all these for the banter of it, right? They're not following boxing like that. So the dart heads, you can plug them all this rubbish. They're not going to complain. All they care about is that there's 2 big stiff heavies in the ring whacking lumps out of each other. That's where they should be. Most of these ones here. That's not knocking the people individually. Obviously, fair play to them. I'm glad they're making money, but from the unwashed masses point of view, it leaves a lot to be desired. And I don't think that's unfair. Like Adam Azim versus let's have a look at 140 quickly. I gotta be honest, Azim for me does fight a lot of bums, but I don't know how many fights he's had. So is it a case of he's brand spanking new? Is this 140? Or is that the one below? I don't know, I'm just guessing now at this point. Super light. I don't know why they have so many different. You know how they make the names of weight divisions? It's like super light or something else. They have 2 ways of saying the same thing. It's like, why are you doing that for, man? For me, it makes sense to call it the number. Let's call it the number, 147. It's the 147 division. Super this, super that. Normal this, normal that. Anyway, at 140 we've got... See, Adam Azim's had 13 fights, so he is somewhat brand new. You could argue that. But he's ranked number 4 in the global rankings. Puello can box. Get him in there. Yeah? There's a few names on here. Jermaine Ortiz is a stiff. He's decent. Let's see the cat he's fighting quickly. Adam Azim. Oh, he's got 4 stars allegedly. So maybe I just don't know him. To be fair. It allegedly is a step up. I like Azim. I think he's really quick. The thing about them and Amir Khan, man, is they are quick. They ain't got no chops, but their hands are like someone else. They have the quickest hands in the game. Honestly, I don't know what. It's crazy how genetics work. But whenever I see them box, even if I see like an Amir Khan boxing some random, even if they're a random Amir Khan, like their hands are like blisteringly fast. It's fascinating. But they can't take a pop on the chops for for nothing. I've seen loads. They can't take a pop on the chops. At the end of the day, listen, no one's knocking it. You got quick hands, man, but your chops is something. It leaves something to be desired at the end of the day, man. From what I'm seeing. Okay. I don't know about it. I don't know, man. I'm a hype fiend, so don't take my advice for nothing. But it is what it is. Anyway, folks, I'm out of here, man. Check out the Patreon. We got over 1 million exclusive videos on there for the masses. We talk all kinds of things. X-rated. Yeah, X-rated rabbinic Talmudic content. Yeah, you know that one there? That's what we do over there, man. So don't play with me, man. All the things you can't talk about on JTube is over there. So don't play with me, man. Click this Bindy button right here and get plugged in. Yeah, unplug from the J-Tricks. I'm out of here. Like, subscribe. Johnny Bosch.